As far as this team goes, obviously, it's only day 2 of practice, but you've seen these guys throughout the summer, conditioning, weightlifting, getting ready for this season. What do you like about this Homestead team going forward?
Well, we really just pick each other up no matter what. So there's encouragement everywhere, and we're all hard workers. So I don't think our conditioning should be a problem at all throughout the season.
Tell me about this offense. What have you seen from the offensive side of the football thus far?
Well, of course, we lost Jaya, which is he's a really good quarterback, but Jake and Goody, they're filling in their role really well, and they both have really good arms, so I'm excited to see how they do this season.
You were a top receiver for Homestead last year, so knowing that you're replacing a quarterback with either Luke or Jake, you'll still be one of the top targets out there. How do you help lift this offense and make sure other guys are on the same page and be a leader for this offense, considering you're going to be looked at as one of the guys to carry the O?
The quarterbacks are a little inexperienced, so always got to pick them up, tell them they're doing good, and really we all just got to catch their balls, make them feel good about themselves.
What allowed you to excel last season? What do you take away personally from last season that's going to allow you to take a step further this year?
Well, last year helped me a lot with experience, and I just ran my routes and worked hard, so that's what I'm going to do this year and hope for the same thing.
And recruiting-wise, I know you were getting some Ivy League looks out there. Who are some of the programs looking at you, and what's your kind of decision-making process like?
I have almost all the Ivy Leagues, which is honestly really, really cool. So I went out on visits this summer, and I'm just narrowing them down little by little right now.
When you take a look at this team, you guys have been together in fall camp for just 2 days now, but you've been together throughout the summer, 7-on-7, conditioning, weightlifting, all that kind of stuff. What do you like about this team heading forward?
I like how we're like a family. We all talk, communicate, not even just on the football field. We talk about how we want to get better off the football field, how we could be closer, how we could do things that we want to do in the future, school-wise or football-wise.
When you take a look at this defense, 8 starters back on defense, that's a ton. Yeah. What is it about this defense that you like, and what are some of the keys to having a good season defensively as a unit?
Our defense, our secondary is really good. We communicate well. Not even that, we're versatile. We can put different people in different positions. That's going to make us so much lethal. And then defensive line-wise, lost Tico, but we have so many. It's a depth position, so it's going to be hard for offenses to run the ball on us because we got more than just 3 good players. We have like 5 or 6.
For you, you're going to be taking more of a leadership role this year as a senior, as a guy that can play college football, as a guy that we've seen return kicks against Carroll. Yeah. We've seen make plays on the defense. We've seen make plays on offense. So how do you approach this season and make sure that the younger guys that are stepping into bigger roles are coached up and ready to go for a Friday night in the SAC?
Well, first, you got to make sure they're humble when they get the spotlight, because everybody's going to get their spotlight. They got to make sure they know that they're meant for this. It's not just something new. They shouldn't be cocky about it. That's what the other guys like Matt Ivory and Ben Skronick taught me. They should, and teaching them, you got to tell them what to do and what not to do. What certain situations on defense, like the younger corners, got to tell them what to do in 3rd and 5. You should press or you should play off and stuff like that. Coach them through everything.
Okay, Porter. As far as this team goes, you guys have been together. Not just 2 days here, but I imagine all through the summer, weightlifting, conditioning, 7-on-7. What do you like about this Homestead team as we enter the 2018 season?
The off-season it's been phenomenal. Like, everyone's putting in work. We've added some hours, added some days to practice. We added the Nagoji. We've been putting in a lot more hours, a lot more time, and everyone's showing up and still putting just as much, if not more, effort than the years prior.
And you guys went 8-2 last year, both of those losses to a very good Snyder program. What do you learn from last season you can apply this time around?
I think it's the little details. I think overall we're a good team. We work well together, but I think we got to fix the little details, like looking at the statistics and the numbers. We had a significant amount more fumbles and interceptions last year than other teams, and games we did really well in.
When you take a look at offensively, obviously you're replacing Jaya at quarterback. That's a big shoes to fill. But you have talented guys like yourself, Trevin, that are surrounding the quarterback position no matter who gets that job. So how much do you put it on your shoulders and the senior class's shoulders to make sure everybody is coached up to the point that you guys can kind of hit the ground running when Friday night comes?
I think the biggest part of the senior class is just because we have a significant number more than the years prior, so we got to mentor for sure the younger guys, because we got to get them up to speed real quick, and we got to, like you said, hit the ground running, and we got to beat Snyder this year.
What are your goals for this upcoming season as a team?
Definitely we want to win the SAC, we want to beat Snyder, and then we want to progress the state. We want to be on this field as long as they let us. What
have you seen from this team, not only in these 2 days, but in the summer, that you like about this Homestead program going forward?
I've mentioned it before. Their work ethic and the things they did in the offseason were tremendous. And that's what stands out. And I'm seeing it on the football field too. They work hard together and they encourage each other. And the bond that they've created because of their work is paying off. And so it's fun to watch.
I think this is your 15th season, if my math is correct. That sounds about right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is this one of the more experienced groups you have coming back? Because I think you have 8 starters on both sides of the football, which gives you 16 total starters returning.
It's got to be one of the most experienced we've had. Usually you end up around 5 to 6 guys returning on each side of the ball. So we've increased that on each side. So, yep, you're probably right.
Defensively, what do you like about this team? Because obviously you lose Tico up front, but you do have talent throughout the rest of the position groups.
I think one of the strengths, their secondary, we've got kids back at those most spots, and same thing in the linebacker core. So up front, and they're coming along. What stands out right now is their speed. I think we can run a little bit on defense, and so it should be fun to watch them chase the ball a little bit.
Offensively, it looks like Luke and Jake are battling for that quarterback position. Where are you in terms of determining who your starting quarterback is, and then how does that set the tone for where you go offensively?
Well, it's hard to say where we're at, because they're both playing really well. And so we've always said this, they're both capable kids. And so we'll just make that determination after we get through a couple weeks here and see where we're at and see what's best for the team. That's where we're at. So the rest of the team, they're doing well. I mean, the skill-wise, they'll I don't think it matters which quarterback's back there. They're going to perform well.
Jaya's obviously big shoes to fill, but considering you have Trevin back, you have Porter up front, you do have 8 starters back on offense. Do you feel a little bit more, at ease, breathe a little bit easier knowing it? You have to replace the most important position on the field, but everybody else around him knows what they're doing.
I mean, it helps, but I don't know if we ever feel at ease. In this conference, it's, I've said this many times, if you don't come ready to play, you're going to get beat, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. So, our mentality is that we have to come out and be playing very well every single game and improve throughout the season. As we get each game, we need to get a little bit better. So that's what we're trying to do.
You go 8-2 last season, both of those losses to Snyder, one at Lucas Oil Stadium, one in the playoffs. How much does that fuel this team, knowing that, you guys are that close to winning an SAC championship for the first time?
Well, it's, these kids know that. And, it's not just Snyder. There's very good football teams throughout the conference, but if you look traditionally, the championship usually runs through Snyder. You're going to have to beat them to make a run, and they're in our sectional too, and we'll probably, and it's a tough sectional, so every team in there can do some damage, but they're someone that we have to prepare for and be ready to play.